Andrew Carnegie once said, "Show me a man of average ability but extraordinary desire, and I'll show you a winner every time." And he knew how to become that winner. Carnegie's starting point was a salary of $1.20 a week, and the end point was a fortune of $310 billion and the title of one of the richest Americans in history. This once again confirms that it's possible to reach an income of millions of dollars no matter what financial level you're at right now. We've prepared for you the 10 most important rules from Andrew Carnegie that helped him get rich. By implementing them in your life, you too can easily turn your $1 into $1 million. This is the Money Quotes channel. Subscribe to make your first million with us. There is a power under your control that is greater than poverty, greater than the lack of education, greater than all your fear and superstitions combined. It is the power to take possession of your own mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire. Andrew Carnegie's family was never rich, although everyone worked in their field and earned as much as they could. His mother sold canned meat and his father worked on a hand loom, but the financial situation was still difficult. There were times when there wasn't even enough money for food. So when Andrew got an opportunity to work at a cotton factory, he didn't hesitate for a second and immediately accepted. He had to work 6 days a week. At the same time, he was paid less than $2 a week. Carnegie often recalled this period as one of the most difficult and tedious, but it was during that period that he set himself a goal to become rich. Since then, every day it ignited him and motivated him to overcome all kinds of difficulties. To move forward, you need to know what you want to achieve. You need to have a clear goal, ideally with outlined tasks to achieve it. Think about what motivates you to move forward, define it and fix it, and then, focusing all the attention and effort, try to achieve it. The first thing to do about an obstacle is simply to stand up to it and not complain about it or whine under it, but forthrightly attack it. Stand up to your obstacles and do something about them. You will find that they haven't half the strength you think they have. There are often difficulties along the way, but you must remember that complaining about fate is a choice that will make you suffer every day. When people think about the unfulfillment of dreams, many consider different situations in life as obstacles, like the inability to get an expensive education, lack of money to move to a more promising city or country, and lack of useful friends and connections. But all this can be changed if you can courageously look into the eyes of your beliefs and fears. Andrew Carnegie was in the same circumstances, but he found the courage to fix it. An expensive education was out of his reach, but he knew he could get a free one. With effort, he mastered all the knowledge he needed, which later benefited him just as much. To move to another city, Carnegie's family borrowed money from his relative George Lauder and did not regret it, for the move also paid off as a result. Thus, Carnegie acquired the positive attitude, which is, it does not matter what you have, but how you use it. And as for useful connections and acquaintances, they are available to everyone for free. Making friendships with the right people has become a lot easier these days. Now you can text anyone on social media and get to know people who are interesting to you. Perhaps they will be an important element in making your life rich. The best time to expand is when no one else dares to take risks. A risk is an opportunity that could end up giving you a big gift. Very few people want to go where the path has not yet been trodden. This is usually due to the fear of the unknown because there are no rules yet on how to proceed, no proof that things will definitely work out in this area, and no example to follow. The absence of these factors scares many people so much that they give up on their own happiness. Carnegie wanted to achieve financial security so much, so he decided for himself to become the risk-taking daredevil. Since then, he was not afraid of any difficulties, took any job that could bring at least some profit, and later, this courage helped him start his own business of producing iron bridges. As a result, Keystone Bridge Works brought him his first million, the very big gift I mentioned earlier. So, if you haven't developed the courage to take risks, now is the time to do so. Of course, if you want to get rich, give this video a thumbs up if wealth and financial security is in the top 5 of your main goals. Don't be content with doing only your duty. Do more than your duty. It's the horse that finishes a neck ahead that wins the race. The main distinction that Carnegie possessed in comparison with other workers was a desperate work ethic. He would do the work that needed to be done in a day and then take on additional work after that. He helped his colleagues. He thought of ways to improve, to speed up one process or another. After all, he believed that the one who gives more gets more. Working as a messenger at the telegraph, he learned to perceive and translate telegrams by ear without using a sheet of paper. No one of his colleagues had such a skill at that time, for his diligence, industriousness, and complete dedication. Andrew Carnegie eventually received a well-deserved promotion. Quality work was his secret to good relations with his employers, who were always happy to promote him, transfer him to a more prestigious position, and increase his salary. After all, he made it clear that he was interested in doing the assigned work quickly and, most importantly, with quality. By bringing more value and profit to the company, he received a benefit for himself. Success is the power to acquire whatever one demands of life without violating the rights of others. The concept of success means the positive consequences of the work you've been doing. There are many different ways in which you can get successful. For example, you can use positive methods that require a contribution of labor, time, and effort, such as helping, doing a service well, or providing a quality product. Or one can take on quick but negative methods, deception, and fraud. Andrew Carnegie was convinced that you can only have true success that gives you joy and brings you profit if it hurts no one. For example, money earned through deception will ultimately do no good in the long run for the person who started it. Whereas the money you earn by making other people happy or helping them will make you several times richer. After all, satisfied people after interacting with you will recommend you to their friends and acquaintances, and this will create more opportunities for acquiring wealth. Analyze your methods of making money. If other people suffer from it, then perhaps this is what prevents you from having large amounts. In that case, it is worth looking for another way to make money. Wealth is not to feed our egos, but to feed the hungry and to help people help themselves. Not only did Andrew Carnegie belong to the list of the richest men on the planet, he was also a philanthropist who helped society in every way he could. During his life, he spent about 90% of his income on charity. After all, he believed that one of the important missions of wealth was to help other people. He invested in churches, founded schools and colleges, and gave large sums to build libraries and fund them. This was influenced by one situation that occurred in Carnegie's life, codenamed Colonel Anderson's kindness. This is a man Andrew read about in the newspaper. It said that Anderson would give factory workers access to his library, which contained over 400 books. Upon learning this, Andrew was incredibly happy, because it meant he could gain access to knowledge that was inaccessible to him due to lack of money. From that moment on, he decided that when he got rich, he would definitely help the same children who are growing up in poverty, but seeking to fix their situation with the help of books. As a result, he was able to cover not only his own needs, but also help others. At the same time, spending money on good deeds made him even richer. The more difficult a problem becomes, the more interesting it is. This was Andrew Carnegie's life principle. In 1861, during the Civil War, he could have fallen into despair, as many did. But realizing that then the collapse would surely come, he took a different attitude to a problem of such magnitude. He worked hard and tried in every way to help his country and society. He became an assistant to the Minister of War, supervised the transport of troops, among whom were victims in need of urgent rescue. Perceiving the problem with interest, he wondered, how can I help? By benefiting others, he got it in return. In 1863, his income reached $42,000 a year. Many people's problems that come their way cause them to stop, if not give up on what they're trying to do. But think about how things can change if you start thinking differently. Think back to when you were a child, when you were given a problem in math class. They were difficult, but back then you were sure they were solvable, and so you didn't give up until you had the right solution written in your notebook. Immerse yourself in that joyful state of success. Now, make an analogy with a problem in your real life that prevents your dreams from coming true, and just try to solve it. Let the overcoming of problems become a curious process for you. Then you can achieve anything you set your mind to. 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. More money has been made in real estate than in all industrial investments combined. The wise young man or wage earner of today invests his money in real estate. That is advice that is meant to be practiced. Everyone knows that most millionaires were well versed in the subject of investment. After all, cash deposits are considered one of the most popular ways to make money. No matter what business you are in, no matter what you do for a living, getting to passive income and multiplying your profits can help you with well-developed investment skills. Carnegie started investing thanks to his boss and later friend Thomas Scott. After a while, having learned the basics, he made deposits on his own. For example, in such companies as Adams Express or shares in the Woodruff Railroad Company. They became the basis for further profits and significantly influenced Carnegie to become the richest man in the world. Share in the comments how much a month do you make now and how much you would like to have to feel most comfortable. Let your $1 million income become your reality. This is the Money Quotes channel. Subscribe and get more.